think mine's against was Henrik Larsson. He was just technically very good, and he was just one of the guys. You take your eye off him for a minute, and he was scoring. Even if he didn't have the best of games, he was just, you're always worried about him. He was always a concern. He was a gentleman as well. He was good at everything. Everything he'd done. His first touch was immaculate, great in the air. So he was a real handful. Playing with is a bizarre one. Charlie Miller, just incredible talent. An absolute, he wouldn't mind me saying it, but an absolute waste of the ability he did have, because he played in that team, I think, with Laudrup and guys like that, and he could definitely hold his own if he'd looked after. I think he probably brought up in the wrong era, in the wrong dressing room at the wrong time. If he was in the right environment and looked after himself physically, he could have played and graced any pitch.
Probably the toughest guy I've ever played with, Gary Armstrong. I thought he was a brilliant player to be around. He might not have been technically the best player. There were scrum halves that could pass better than him, kick better than him, but everybody wanted to be in his team. The best player I played against was Jonah Lomu. Just unbelievable strength of a player. He's a lovely man as well. Really sad that he's no longer with us, but he had time for everybody, time for teammates, players he played against and supporters. Probably the most famous rugby player ever. It was great for the game of sevens. I know there'll be some people who would have been the first time they'd watched a game of rugby, putting the Olympics on and thought, oh, this is different from what I remember rugby. And it could be a great sport in its own right now. Already it's starting to be a great sport in its own right. Very similar to 2020 cricket. It will build its own supporter base. And we have a World Series playing in some great cities throughout the world. Used to be in Glasgow. Hopefully it'll come back. And now the Olympics, now the Commonwealth Games. So now to have one player, Mark Bennett, involved, to have a former player with Leone, with two players in the former players in the USA team, it's great for our club to watch them compete.
We've always tried to coach them to play with freedom as well, and play with a bit of freedom and guile, and have guys at the front end of the pitch that can get people off their seats and bring that creativity. And sometimes when you sign guys like that, they're a little bit off the cuff in football anyway, and you've got to take the good with the bad. We've just signed Chris Erskine, and any Thistle fans will know in the room that some days there's a saying in football, he'll be Pelly or Smelly, and this season so far he's been Pelly. In a couple of games in pre-season he wasn't, he was the opposite, but you take the good with the bad.
Just to follow that up, so Friday, because I know a lot of football managers leave it till an hour before the game, so is that different to a lot of the managers that you're doing it the day before?
Not really. I think most try and do it now. You want to get your stuff out, but some managers still leave it, even in the Premier League, and they leave it to 1:45 in a Saturday afternoon. Some of them are still tossing that coin, who to go with. And you hear managers now, oh, I changed my mind last minute, and they wait to the kind of Saturday afternoon. I would rather have them prepared, and then they know, because it can be easier for the player that's getting left out to take it on the Friday, and he's got the night to stew over it and get his head round it, and he's prepared to be a sub on the Saturday, and his head's ready to go, rather than somebody that thinks he's playing on the Saturday afternoon, and you walk in at 1:30 and you say, you're not playing today, and the whole family's coming, they're all coming to watch him, and he's trying to deal with that in his head mentally, when he should be thinking about just backing the team, and he's still trying to think about, oh, why am I not playing? Has he fell out with me? And trying to get that. It's just so he's got a clear mind for the Saturday, and the whole squad has.
Sorry, I'm just going to ask each other questions now. Because this is the thing I found the most different between football and rugby, and on announcing the teams and all the football managers in that course, and I've done another one since then where that's how you can't announce a team on a Tuesday. What happens to the guys after you tell them? But our players, so we announce it on a Tuesday ahead of a Saturday game, and the feedback from our players is, can you not announce it on the Monday? So they actually want it the day earlier because they want to prepare more, and we haven't decided by then. But in terms of organisation, it works for us. We've got a lot more set plays, so the team that are running the opposition plays, to get an opportunity for them to train the Tuesday with a team that's ready to play, it does help.